Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Emerald Division Finals of the Spy Party Major League. My name is Taboshi. I'm joined today by Rov,
Hello, welcome everyone.
and we've got Nebula as our host and observer today. It's been a long road here for both of these players, though a slightly more stressful one for one than the other. We've got Banana Bread versus Verdrus.
Yep, two players who have had good seasons in Emerald this season. As you said, one has had more of an easier one. Banana Bread has absolutely walked this division, hasn't he? 8 wins out of 8, the maximum points, and has done the season without a single loss. So heading into this final as probably the favorite, I would say, at least based on form. But Verdus is absolutely no slouch. Has made the final in second place ahead of Magic Duo by the
The
tiniest of
slimmest of
margins,
margins.
by 0.25 strength of victory points, which is ridiculously close. But has snuck in and will be challenging will be challenging Bernard Bread today for the outright winner of Emerald. Should we get into the head-to-head records?
Yeah, absolutely. Banana Bread absolutely cruising. He had two quite close games, one versus Leonuk, the other one versus Magic Doer. Both 7-5 victories for him, but that's as close as it got. Other than that, Banana Bread really didn't encounter much resistance on his way here.
Yeah. Pretty comfortable, I think, for Banana Bread. He had a very good season, I think, last season out in Ruby, despite getting demoted. I mean, because yeah, the Ruby division in SML1 was absolutely static. It includes two current Grandmaster players, and I believe he almost stayed in that division. So when we saw him in Emerald at the start of the season, I think most people thought that Banana Bread would have a strong season, but yeah, this season has been really strong. If you look at
Yeah,
Virtus results as well, he's only lost his two banana breads, so he's also had a very good season.
Yeah, the only loss between the regular season head to head between these two players. But as Yosh is noting in the chat, look at the spread of games here. It's either dead tied or an absolute blowout. There's no in between.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong there. Should be a fun note today. I think 7-2 is it seems like a blowout, but sometimes you can have 7-2s can be quite close. So I think on paper, banana bread is slightly stronger, but Virtus is definitely no slouch and can definitely give him a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. One of the big things for Verdrus, I think, is going to be coming out strong in these first few games. If they can manage that, I think they've got a very good shot in this match.
I do agree. Also, both players failing to beat Bai as well. How dare they? All right.
All right, let's jump into the picks and bans. So, if you guys don't quite remember what the situation here is for the Spy Party Major League, first seed picks 4 venues, second seed picks 3. Um, each player then is able to delay one of their picks to put it at the end, and each player also gets a ban of a venue as per usual.
Yep, and it seems like both players have decided to ban the occlusion venues, both Redwoods and Tian getting banned. Ballroom also, I guess you could also class as a. In fact, to be honest, all of these bans or restrictions could be classed as occlusion, but Ballroom and Miranda more party and guest occlusion rather than like outright. You can't see things because of trees or um, dividers in the way. So yeah, both players not a fan of that. And then some interesting picks as well. Only one 3x pick being chosen, so both players liking to play the bigger venues.
Yeah. As I was saying in the pregame, sometimes the three ofs can feel a little bit more coin flippy. So if you feel like you're going to be ahead, if you're feeling strong, then oftentimes the three of venues are something to avoid. Now, neither player banned any of them, but we only actually got one of them picked, which says they're both relatively confident here to me.
hmm Yeah, and the multipliers on Modern and Courtyard, I think, are two sort of very open venues. You sort of know what to expect in terms of like the game plan on the venues. Like Courtyard, you'll always go statues. Modern, usually you'll go probably Purloin plus a Softail is quite common, especially at this level. So I think, um, yeah, we could see some strong snipers on those venues, and then hoping to nick a sweep on maybe Aquarium, for example, or Ballroom. That could be both players' strategies here.
Well, that's where we stand for now. No reason to delay any further. It's going to be Verdrus on the Spy first on double modern, any 4 of 8. Let's get this thing started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, Verdus Sudden Spy. General is a pretty strong spy in general. um, has a good bug, and yeah, just taking it slow. Party isn't really giving us much. Bar
A
is fairly busy.
fairly busy bar to start things out. So we'll see if anything comes of that. But yeah, Verdrus just taking it slow off the top of the game, hanging out in the conversation and weighing his options before dropping into the bar to get in on some of that action.
Yeah, sometimes it's
White
sort
just
of
on the Purloin, on the Seduce while we're there as well. So that's 34% fairly early on.
yeah, okay start with the flirt. Sometimes Modern can be tough when the party is active, like with lots of people at statues and bar. It can be sort of you try and make the most of it, but at the same time, if the party is in certain areas, it could be hard to, especially if your SC is active as well and you can't get that flirt early on. But we do get it at bar and we get a delegate at the same time.
A little bit of an odd move by the seduction target. I think he declined a drink and then immediately went back to the bar and asked for another. But
Yeah,
goofy or not, it's not something Spy would normally do.
it's a very sort of it's a waste of time is what it is, and so some snipers might attribute a bit of behavioral anti-sus to that, I guess. We did have a bit of an awkward path into conversation, but I don't think Bernardo is the sort of player to really care a huge amount of that stuff. But, probably gonna drop him for a second flirt here.
Very slow start for Dress, all things considered here. Still only has that 34% on the flirt and has spent quite a little bit of time just sort of hanging out and chatting. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to get back on curve, especially again not hitting the second green test either on the flirt. So 68% is where we stand there. We have 4 missions to get in total, and we're about to tick under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, I do think Verdus is a fairly slow spy in general. I think they tend to get good soft tail progress and then only really do hard tails late in the game. So this is not particularly uncommon, but on Modern, which is quite a big venue, the ambassador isn't leaving many prints around. You really need to sort of do something to get yourself back into the game, or maybe we're looking for a frame. It could also be possible.
Yeah, especially in competitive matches like this, because when the pressure is really on, spies do tend to slow down a little bit just because of the
Mhm.
nerves. There's the flirt done in 3, but that's the first completion with 1:30 left to play. We got a motor for these next few.
Yeah, Double Agent, I believe, is in conversation. I can't really tell. I've got a split screen on, but yeah, we do need that contact at some point. With 1 minute 15 left. Gonna go for a microfilm here.
Yeah, could be some form of cheese here, but we are high-lit and don't have a ton in the way of cover, so unlikely they're going to try anything particularly schmancy. Does get a green transfer, though, so as we tick under a minute to play, this is a slow way of getting a completion. I'm very worried about the clock at this point.
Yeah, I
We
definitely
might need
am.
to go time ad, but it's going to be bar instead.
It's gonna have to be Purloin into Delegate into BB into finish the microfilm at the same time, and all of that in 30 seconds is going to be interesting. We do the Twitch Delegate to not get a drink, which is absolutely required here.
30 seconds.
Yeah, into Windows
Up to
probably
the
for a
window
timeout, I
we
think.
go, but we're into the beep beeps now, so unlikely we're going to be able to get away with a timeout at this point in time. Unless we feel like standing here until 0 seconds and trying to hit a green test. I don't know if that's the play. There's a bug on the way through. I think that got caught. Indeed it did. Banana Bread on the board first.
Yep, good catch at the end. We didn't really have much done, and that bug is, from the angle that Banana was holding, is very much a credit, I think, especially with General. But I think maybe also the fact that we were still highlight after our delegate Purloin expiring from a while ago. I think maybe Banana Bread had some extra sauce on us for some other reason. But regardless,
Yeah,
it was a good shot.
the bug was pretty solid. It was a good angle. He had the positioning right. I think it was just maybe Banana Bread was paying attention to the arm and didn't see it swing in the usual walk cycle on the other side. That's the only tell I could think would be there. Either way, let's see what Banana Bread is able to do from the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep. So we've had Queen. We have Queen now. We had General before Banana Bread. Splitting the classic ST pair. We do go to the bar again to get that flirt. A white test for 34%.
Very similar start to Verdruss's, just a lot faster. Busy bar, early flirt at said bar for 34%. We didn't grab a delegate, I don't think, but we're not planning on doing much with this drink. We were mostly there for the early flirt, I believe.
I would hope we got a delegate because there's literally no reason not. There is absolutely no reason not to. But Banana Bread just being out of windows. This is quite non-spy thing to do. Just go window to window, waste some time. But it's also fine to do if your SC isn't really cooperating. But they do come to winners as well, so we can get our second flirt here.
Yeah, Seduction puts themselves in a flirtable position, and Banana Bread immediately pounces on it, hits a fairly close green to bring us up to 85% on the flirt, and that is in any flirt range, because the worst you can get and still get progress is 17%.
Yeah, just looking at this party, it seems fairly active, but at the same time, not many people at mission sites. It's a bit of a weird one, and the ambassador not moving and not putting any prints anywhere is going to hurt Banana Bread because modern games can be very swingy in times where the ambassador is leaving prints or is not leaving prints, because the more prints they leave, the more of them that they are to remember. But sometimes on modern, the ambassador can just stay in conversation the whole game. So it seems like quite an easy party for Virtus to snipe so far. But yeah, 2 minutes left. We got flirt done. It'd be interesting to see what Banana Bread tries to do.
Yeah, that's about a minute ahead of Verdruss's pace. So we're still in a little bit of a weird position because the party's been quiet and we don't really have any other progress, but with still 2 minutes to play, we've got time to work it out. And a little bit of a mid-game bar rush here as well that we got in on the early on. So that could be extremely useful.
We will want to take advantage of this almost certainly, and yeah, when you have a bar like this, especially mid game, it can be fantastic for the spy because there are so many there are so many more people in the pool of suspects, and I'm not surprised that Virtus is gonna highlight us.
So grabbed a delegate and has gone to an innocent converse. Well, not entirely innocent. The double agent is here, but I don't think he's planning on taking this contact. He's just going to sit for a moment. Never mind, he's taking the contact.
It's not a bad one. We might want to delegate to distract from it. We do.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Sometimes this can be a thing that's quite caught by a sniper because.
But here's the thing, it's a suspected double agent, so he might not be paying a ton of attention to... No, sorry, it wasn't a suspected double agent. I was looking at the wrong character.
I think we might try and swap here at the same time. Purloin goes...
And goes for the swap, but I think Verdruss caught the Purloin, and as he was looking over to see where his suspect was, got a full shot of that swap happening, so the timing just didn't quite line up there.
Yeah, I like the idea of trying to swap as a Purloin goes off because you're basically covering one hardtail with another. But the problem with this play, I think, is the timing of the Purloin send, because we do the contact, the sniper gets a low light, and then one person leave conversation. So the only person out of conversation at that point isn't a low light. So it's very easy to see if you're looking for it where that person is coming from. So I think Verdus had that purloin down to 2 essentially from uh, that send after the contact, and then only one person is at a mission site other than Dooku who's just taking the purloin, so the swap is easily caught. So good intuition from Verdus. I like the play from Banana Bread, but just the timing of the send. Maybe if we send the purloin before the contact there, it might have a better chance of winning. But it was a good play nonetheless.
Either way, Modern did get multiplied, so we're going back in. It's 1-1 as Verdra steps back into the spy side on a very large venue in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, it's Smallman.
The emergency Smallman has been pressed already. Yeah, Smallman is a pretty good spy on Modern because you can use the cover behind the back right conversation to do some shenanigans. It will be interesting to see if it does that. And also, some Smallman connoisseurs have used Smallman to do microphone behind Damon, believe it or not, or even behind the bar. So you never know what can happen on a Smallman game.
So Verdress, with a bit of a faster start this time around, stepping right in conversation with the seduction target and picking up an early flirt for 34%. Verdress has not been doing a fantastic job of hitting ATs thus far. Still settling in, I guess, but I think the only green test he's hit was at the green bookcase.
Yeah, I think I don't know off by hand the green rates of either of these players, but I think Verdus tends to be more of a soft tail player in a sense that they go for soft tails over hard tails because hard tails usually have more important action tests. So I'm not particularly surprised that the green rate isn't as high just based on playstyle, but soft tail games are strong in their own right. So especially when the ambassador is actually doing things like this one is. So
And speaking of soft tells, we have actually gone for a first set of inspects of the match. So, couple of inspects on the books, as well as that 34% flirt. We're gaining progress at a much faster clip than we were at the first game.
yeah, again. The ST hopefully stays. We're not at this play. Oh, she sips though.
A lucky sip
No.
just barely didn't make it still.
Yeah, that's the problem with having a slow spy on Modern because it just takes forever to get everywhere. And it's
Yeah.
in a situation like that where you try and get that flirt done, we just wasted 25 seconds walking across the venue for nothing. So, but we do enter the conversation across Alice, but then she leaves. Fantastic. That's annoying
Yeah.
for Verdress, but
As useful as Smallman's stature can be, it does mean he has quite small legs.
yeah. The good thing for us though is that the party, other than us, is being quite active, and it is important to get or to have an active party on Modern because there's just more things to watch for the sniper. So we do finish the inspects here and get a fingerprint at the same time. So some more progress.
Yep, that's a print and a mission completion. Minute and 30 left to play. We still have 2 flirts to get, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world in that amount of time on a venue as large as this. But here's the contact coming off. A pretty good one, too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. About 4 or 5 low lights, which is not. Oh, actually, more like 6 or 7.
6. So,
Banana did an excellent job of getting all those low lights there. Actually,
yeah, absolutely. Even took a 7th. I don't know if that 7th was guaranteed, but it was right, so we'll take it. Minute left to play as we step in for our second flirt. Things might start getting a little bit hairy here. It's another white test, 68%, so we're going to have to get real close on the third one as well. Never mind! It's not going to matter because the shot comes off and Banana Bread somehow is all the way on top of this.
that is quite a shot because we didn't have Prince Don. We just had inspects. There must be something else that Banana Bread has caught there that it could just be behavioural. We were the first person to leave after contact into conversation next to a potential flirt pair. If Banana Bread caught the chase across the venue to Alice when Alice left the conversation, he could have attributed that to someone trying to flirt with Alice, and then we end a conversation there again at the end and talk next to Alice. So maybe it could be a flirt pair, but either way, catching a flirt player on Modern is very, very strong and is hard to do. So, but Bernard Red is definitely feeling his sniper today, and
Yeah,
yeah, a good start.
that is absolutely a statement shot. It's going to put Verdress on the back foot on their spy side. Let's see what they're able to do from the sniper, though, against Banana Bread Spy. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, Teal. We could go Flirt Books or do a bug, but we decided neither and get a Delegate probably at bar.
I so wanted to see that Time of Chaos bug. It looked so good. The bounce was perfect, but just didn't hit that right click. It's the safe play, to be sure. Probably the correct one, but I wanted it anyways.
I think both players are quite conservative in their early game spies. Those sort of chaos bugs and the chaos purloins, I think neither player tend to do quite a lot of. So yeah, I can understand that not wanting to throw a game away immediately. But sometimes when you have when you have a really good opportunity like that, we had okay cover from the ambassador, so could have been a good bug. But it's hard to know what exactly the sniper is watching on an early modern game because there is just so much to potentially watch. So
Into conversation with the double agent, and we do have a delegate, I believe, from very early on in the game. I don't think we're going to use it. Seduction target, though, drops in to say hi, and Banana Bread capitalizes with a green test on the flirt to bring us up to 44%. So, having that little bit of extra percentage off of a close white test, what you get from that is very nice because it means you don't have to pay nearly as much attention to your positioning later in the game.
yeah, just the one flirt. 2 minutes 45 left. We go for a contact here. It's not a terrible one.
Banana split.
Yeah, banana split. It was an
It
okay
doesn't look
contact.
like Verdrus is going to bite, just took the guaranteeds and is going to leave it at that.
Yeah, that's probably better for Verdus than it is Banana Bread. We do get a print off the books. Sometimes if you do contacts and other missions as ambassadors are at different mission sites leaving prints, the sniper can forget where that print is from. So this is possible that we did that Banana Bread early to cover the fact that the ambassador was at this bookcase. So that print could be clean. Hard to know at this point, but we should go back in for this this second flirt.
Usually those opportunistic sorts of moves like that kind of lead to subpar contacts, but I think that contact had only led to 2 lowlights, so a good contact and a good print afterwards. We'll see if it winds up paying off as we pick up our second flirt for 78%. With 1 minute and 45 to play, Banana Bread's looking in a decent spot here.
Yeah, I think we're in an okay spot. But one thing I'm a bit worried about is the ambassador has got a drink, and both prints at the bar have gone. On Moderna as well, when sometimes the ambassador can get stuck in conversation, the odds of a second print getting placed in this game are surprisingly low because the ambassador has to sip the drink 3 times. So
Yeah.
if it's not from on a briefcase, this could be a rough finish. Unless Banana Bread has a cooked print from far early in the game that we don't know about, this could be a tough fingerprint finish, but could go for a timeout here just to give us some more time.
It looks like it's just going to be an innocent window visit for now. Probably going to pick up this last flirt while we're in the area, but the seduction target don't want it, and Banana Bread gives chase after very briefly actually stopping in that conversation. We're going to chase all the way into red bookcase, pick up the flirt here, and that should be flirt done.
Yeah, Verge is paying a bit of attention to Sari at statues. I think Sari's finishing statues there, so could be an okay frame or potential civ shot. But with only 30 seconds left, it's hard to know what the finish is going to be here because we have to get those soft done. It could be an inspect swap potentially.
Yeah, I don't think there's a statue print, so we're not going to be able to do it on Softel's. 15 seconds. Oh, there is a print here. It's just difficult. I didn't think that was still there. Can he hit it is the big question. No, he cannot. So it is going to have to be the swap. There it goes. It was on camera. Verdrus gets a good look at it, and the shot comes off, and we stay even.
We had that cut print, like I was saying. It was difficult because Sari took it. So it was actually a very good hold on Sari because there was a print there. So Verdus was sure that Sari didn't have prints completed. So it was a nice finish. I do think it's possible that if we do hit that print and we go into the overtime beats, we might just be the overtime shot anyway. But it's hard to know. It would have been much more interesting to see what happens if we did hit that print rather than having to swap. But good game. Again, one of those Softail games that is kind of ruined by sort of the party or the SC not being great. But it was good print tracking from Banana Bread to know that there was a print there. And if we go to that statue 15, 20 seconds earlier, it could definitely be a win, I think. So a good game, but we are tied out of Modern.
Yep, we are even at 2. And even though the score is tied up, Banana Bread looks like they're being a bit more comfortable on the sniper side and pressing a little bit more on the spy side. So they're playing very well. Verdras has been holding on. They need to kick it into gear relatively quickly if they're going to really put up a huge threat in this match. I think, again, I feel like they need a relatively early start, but let's see what they're able to do on a 3 of 6. It's High Rise in 3, 2, 1, playing it. No swap and no prints.
Yep, going for microphone, which is a rare choice on High Rise, and are staying on AI control for a little bit. It was also worth noting that Modern was Banana Bread's pick, so I think they were going to be more comfortable on that venue in general. But this is Virtus' pick. This is his domain, I think, a bit more. But again, Banana Bread is used to playing High Rise, I think, because I think quite a lot of people have picked it against him in this division so far. So we'll be interested to see how this goes.
It will indeed. So this is a venue where not only do you normally get slow starts, but you can have slow entire games and still absolutely have enough time to get everything done that you need. It's a little bit nicer to start getting some early progress on the flirt specifically, because that can be a long mission, and you don't want to have to be trying to rush it at the end. But you can really take your time here, and Verdras is doing exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the flip side as well, High Rise is a venue where you sort of have to track flirt to some extent, because if someone just finishes inspects and then they have BB, you know, that's 2 missions, and if you're just creating flirt, it can be hard to not shoot that. So you do need to be tracking those talks and tracking the, you know, who's chasing who. So
Absolutely.
so not flirting early on and trying to sort of hide the flirts can be strong as well. But whilst doing that, you don't want to be hitting white tests. So the 34%, we are definitely behind the curve.
Yeah. It was a nice path into this conversation as well. We were able to get the one flirt, but as we try to take the contact, the double agent bails on us, so not able to wind up happening. It does mean that we don't have a reel, though, and a
Yeah,
few
that
other people
is
do.
so rough, especially on that good of a contact for the DA to bail. And if Banana Bread is tracking who has real now, I guess we have more of a, we know who is in the bomb conversation, so we have some more frame targets. Although the DA has
Oh,
joined
look, he's
back
back.
in, this is we have to take this at some point. There we go, green test.
So
Everyone
that's
has real.
contact done halfway through flirt. That's 52% after 2. Minute left to play, so
God,
the flirt might get a little bit nervy as we step into
is
statues for our first pair of inspects, which again is a little bit nerve-wracking, but we might be able to get a bug on the way out here if we one cycle. Not even going to take an inspect, knows he's not going to need it, doesn't want the bug either, knows it was probably being watched a little bit too close, but 30 seconds to play, we're in a difficult spot here.
yeah. After that contact, it's like the entire party basically exploded, but no one, but only us went to statues. So it could be just be a microfilm dump. We haven't got flirt done either though, so it's gonna be a really rough finish. But might just have to be a flirt at windows into a
Oh,
timeout,
gets
perhaps.
blocked on the way to the seduction target. I don't know if it would have happened anyways. It's a white test. I think we need to time ad here. Hits the green on the time ad, just barely comes off in time. So we are now hanging at 0 from the sniper's perspective.
Yeah. So we know it can't be a green Purloin because Saritok and a low light is at statues as the only other person that could be at statues. So it has to be a
I
timeout
think this
from
is
the
going
Banner's
to
point of
come
view.
off clean, you know? That's a successful transfer.
Yeah. Oh,
And a bug on the way through to the
Oh my
end!
goodness.
And it's the wrong shot! Verdras finds his way through first from the spy side. It's 3-4. 3-2, sorry.
I need to see that again. Okay. So did we get the flirt at windows or not? Because like I think in most situations there you'd expect a flirt finish, especially after a microfilm.
Yeah.
Go for the bug. Was Duke at Windows? Hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty chaotic finish, and that those games where everyone has real on high rise and it's very hard to track but because everyone is just in conversation for a good 30 seconds it's such a stressful game to snipe. Um, but yeah, it's just a very weird finish from Verdurus. It's one you don't really see much. Like a timed into a microfilm dump on high rise of all places. So yeah, just Duke wasn't a window, so I don't think Banana Bread was really sure of why the clock hung. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a scary finish, but a strong one from Verdrus. Just staying alive as long as he could, and it got there in the end, and it was enough to get past Banana Bread, who was looking so strong on the sniper side. Now they're on the spy, looking to level the playing field in 3, 2, 1, playing it. That's a attempted chaos bug, just barely too far away for it to take. These large characters are so deceptive going for these early bugs.
Yeah, I was saying in the previous game that I guess neither player doesn't really try to go for early bugs like that, but I'm basically proven wrong immediately as Bannereg tries for one, but it doesn't take. I don't think Verdus has seen it either because they were both pathing in different in different
Yeah,
directions.
no
So
harm, no foul on
yeah,
this one. It was
yeah,
a good move from Banana Bread. Fairly low risk, high reward, but didn't wind up taking, so now we find ourselves just in a regular old game of high rise.
yeah. Only two people not in conversation are SC and Alice. So it's gonna be hard to flirt with with our SC without having to chase. But I'm going to books. It's the same setup, by the way. We have microfilm on again, so maybe Bernard Red is gonna learn from Verdus and how to do some good microfilm on high rise. Because I guess it could be better than what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see both the microfilm on and then completed. That is
Mhm.
very unusual on this venue. But into the conversation with the double agent we go. Probably gonna wait for one or two more party goers before we pull the trigger on this, especially now with Smallman stepping away.
I do quite like entering against someone who we were flirting with earlier in teal. I guess you could put flirting in air quotes, and then just not talking at all. Because if Virtus has paired us with teal, and then we enter back and then don't talk, it's like why would a spy do that if teal is our ST? So this is behaviorally quite nice from Banana Bread.
There's the contact coming on. Couldn't wait any longer. Pretty dang good, all things considered. I think there were two people out of conversation when it happened. One of them got low lit. Well, Smallman also got low lit.
So we pass out the conversation, do a fake redirect off the briefcase just so we can get closer to our ST, and we do get a green test. So that is a nice little play, but we do only have 40 seconds left, so we should probably leave again if you want to get this flirt done, so we can get the
Yeah,
cooldown to go down.
it was a lovely play, but it was a necessary one. The time had ticked down quite low, and still he hadn't gotten any flirts yet. So at 51% now, he is much closer to curve, still a little bit behind the clock, but not nearly as problematically so as we enter the beep beeps.
It still has to be a Perlin, I think, and unfortunately the only people rejecting are the Ambassador and Lowlights. We do get Kane here, please reject Kane, that'll be good. Don't.
No, that's a
Okay, this is
take.
rough. This is rough. This could
Under
be a timeout.
10. This is definitely
Light
looking
test.
like timeout. It's a white take. We have to immediately flirt here, but I don't know if we're going to get it in time. Does not get it in time. And either way, didn't quite hit the green on it. So
That
he
is
got the
interesting though.
purloin off, but not the flirt.
It's interesting though because Virtus was not looking at that Perlin at all. So if we had that green test and then Virtus doesn't realize that the list is gone, I'm not sure if we get shot actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was a near thing. Uh,
We're just
it
staring at
looks
the
like
Ambassador.
the flirt actually did take in time, so it's just a matter of if he had hit that green test, what would have happened?
It might just be like a confusion as to why there is overtime, and then we realize the list is gone, and then probably either Oz or Kane gets shot. But yeah, I don't know. Would have been interesting to see. Like that is basically 2 games in a row where had a green test been hit by banana bread late in the late game, it could have been a really interesting situation for Virtus to be in. So um, it is 4-2 to Virtus out of high rise. It is alongside, I believe it's first to 10, so plenty of time for banana bread to get back into this game. But yeah, good start for
Yeah.
Virtus. Has a perfect sniper so far.
Of minor note, Verdris getting to at least 4 points. If we're going off of his regular season results, this basically guarantees at least a draw for him. So we'll see what happens going forward, but it's going to be back to the large venues. This one, 5 of 8. It's going to be Veranda, with Verdris starting on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, some real whiplash going from high rise to Veranda, from one of the smallest venues to one of the largest. Veranda has been changed for this season's SML to add a bit of extra time, which I am a big fan of. I think this venue was far too side-by-sided at the original time setting, so just gives the spy a bit more time just to not do things and just let the party accrue more suspicion, and guess more prints are laid and more guests get more soft tells. So
Indeed.
yeah, it's good, and Birdress is taking advantage of that by spending the first 45 seconds doing nothing but getting a single flirt.
That's often how it goes, especially with the slower spies. Is you find your seduction target, you get a flirt, and then you settle in and try to figure out what the game plan is from there. For Verdrus, it looks like the game plan is all the way across the venue to pick up a blue book.
Yeah, probably gonna do some microfilm here. It worked on high rise, so surely it will work more easily on Veranda. Although in saying that, a highlight from Banana Bread onto Twin, it could just be a Twin highlight. It could just be, okay, this Twin is doing more stuff than the other Twin, therefore I'll highlight it. It could just be that, but it could be a reaction to the last game of the microfilm getting done.
Either way, Verdrus definitely felt that laser on him, so didn't wind up doing anything at all with the blue book, and just kind of winds up delaying a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, we wanted to go and get that flirt with the ST, but they do leave. I mean, do you get the
So
briefcase though for a fingerprint? Vodus is a fan of fingerprints, so
yeah,
on a venue like Veranda, they're much more easily to be completed. So that's one of that done. Got one more to go, and we'll go into books here next for ST to get a flirt.
absolutely. A relatively early print. Into books we go with the seduction target as well, so a white test on that is going to bring us up to 68% on the flirt. Verdrus, I think, has still yet to hit a green flirt.
Yeah, our 80 rate this game has not been great, but you know, sometimes you don't need green tests. Of course, they do help, but also missing the conversation is not going to help. But I don't think Banana Bread has attributed much
Well,
suspicion to it.
decides to take the contact anyways.
Banana bread.
Smallman bailed on us before we were able to get it off, but it looks like he re-entered conversation right before the actual contact went off. So maybe that wound up working out better than we thought it would. And into the green bookcase we go to finish up the prints. So minute and 40 left to play. We've got 2 missions complete and 2/3 of a flirt done.
That was actually a very good contact for Veranda, purely because
That's a bug! That's a bug on the way out on the wrong arm!
Yeah.
Did it get caught? It looks like Banana Bread's on it, and indeed they are. So what looked like it was shaping up to be a pretty strong game for Verdrus just got caught out on a wrong arm bug.
yeah, it's just one of them where the laser swings around at the wrong time. It was a good rotation from Banana Bread to guard this bug. If Banana Bread was sort of sticking on the perpendicular angle to the green bookshelf, then that bug is like very good. But
Yeah.
as we swing around to the left, it becomes obvious because the arm is quite visible. Good shot from Banana Bread.
Yeah, I don't think that was intended to be a wrong arm either. It wound up being a lot more exposed than it could have been. I think if he had held off on the right click for maybe a quarter of a second, that would have maybe even been enough to slip it by and keep that game going, but clicked a little bit too soon, wound up with the wrong arm, took a bullet for it.
It was looking to be quite a promising game. But yeah, we were getting into some time pressure, and that bug is not a terrible one to take at that time. Just a good catch from Banana Bread, and he has a chance now to tie it up with a potential spy win on Miranda, playing as Irish.
In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Alrighty, Banana Bread has picked Miranda, has historically picked Miranda in quite a lot of tournaments, so I think they are comfortable on this venue.
Oh my god. What a mess of a time of chaos. This is why we call it that, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's we could have gone for a bug there, but again, it's one of those situations where when the ambassador is
was-
walking, gone.
I don't know, that was pretty chaotic to try to hit a bug in the middle of.
Yeah, I mean, it is Miranda. Sometimes, when there is just so much movement around the ambassador, even bad bugs can get missed, or discredited. But I think it was wise not to. But yeah, we don't have much flirt progress. Our ST has been very active. We don't want to go and chase him to their locations, but just in there, we'll probably need a timeout at some point.
Yeah, usually the early play on Veranda is to, on any venue really, is to chase down your selection target, get the first flirt, and then figure out the plan from there. But he's been so active and bouncy, and we just haven't been able to chase him down. We've just sort of been sitting in conversation with the double agent here and trying to figure out what to do before we got that first flirt.
Yeah, it could be setting up for a bug though with the ambassador red bots. We could get a nice reverse drive-by if they pass around. Salmon is providing us a little bit of cover for it. Could be trying it here. No, didn't pass.
This might just be some like really hard, dedicated, slow play. But no, we're going for an early print, so it doesn't look like it's going to be dedicated slow play trying to get someone framed. It's just a slow start for now.
Yeah, time ads are good on Miranda as well. It will be required probably.
I'd like to see an earlier time ad if possible. Maybe like literally now even.
Now is a good time because the ambassador is
There
in
it is!
danger.
And
There
it's
we go,
green
test.
too, you love to see it.
Votus has been paying a lot of attention to the guest list as well. Has been zooming in on that after most takes. So I think they're very worried about that. But
Back in the conversation we go with the double agent, and this one is a much fuller conversation. We'll see if we actually pull the trigger on this. We do not! Actually just steps away before taking either the contact or the guest list, so really taking as much time as they can get away with is Banana Bread, letting Verdrus accumulate as many other suspects as possible before stepping on the gas.
yeah, we really did want that flirt. We've been trying to chase him around. But God, he's just all over the place, is Duke. We entered conversation with an SCA. And Votus again, he's just fixated on that list on every take. So it could be if Banana Red sort of can notice where the laser is being pointed on drink takes, maybe he could lean into that, but do some other things. But
There's
yeah.
our inspect, so that's most of that mission done. I don't think Banana Bread is likely to be able to get enough of a read on Verdrus to take advantage of that this game, but if they watch enough of the replay to see that behavior, it might change how they play moving forward. Another green time ad. Really playing this as slow as they can get away with as we finally step in to get our first flirt for 34%.
We've been almost forced to time out in this game, which is a bit frustrating because our ST has been just almost unflirtable. But finally, they do enter conversation. We can just sit here, we can do some flirting. We've got 2 minutes 15 left. We got a print, we got an inspect. Contact is usually easier than on most venues to get on Veranda, so in a decent spot, despite the fact that we seem to be behind the pace.
Had a couple of good opportunities for the contact already, but didn't opt to take them. Behind the clock a little bit now, despite the 2 time ads, but Banana Bread is really looking to test Verdruss's mettle here and test their patience. That's a timer flirt. This one green to bring us up to 85% as we slowly inch closer to our first mission completion.
Yeah, we should definitely move. We do go for that double agent conversation, but they could
Okay,
leave
we
after
need
that
to
drink take,
actually
and they
take
do.
this.
And they, what was that? Okay, they just.
That was
And
wild.
the red.
Okay, there's the contact. Doesn't want him to try anything fancy again. So contact does indeed come off. Good amount of lowlights though.
Yeah, it's a lot of lowlights.
That's a lot of lowlights. Oh, it's
White
a
test of the
purloin.
purloin. Yeah, we're dead probably.
Oh, he came back in time to see it too. Banana Bread played such a nice slow game, but as soon as he started pushing missions, it all unraveled. Verdruss was on top of it and is able to maintain their lead. It's 3-5.
Yeah, with how Virtus was camping that guest list this game, any white purloin was going to be instant death. We really needed to hit that green test there. Unfortunately, we don't. And sometimes in Spy Party, if you hit a white purloin, you die because it's one of the most obvious things if you're looking for it. Yeah, good stuff from Virtus, keeping the lead out of Veranda, heading into their double, I believe, on Courtyard. So in a really strong position if they can make the most of their double pick.
Indeed, it is Verdruss in the driver's seat in this match. We've got 4 rounds of Courtyard ahead of us. Verdruss on the spy side in the first in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Playing as Duke. Looking to get that early flirt, but they do enter conversation in an basically unflirtable position with Alice joining there as well. So yeah, bit of a rough start in that sense, but we do try and fit in, and we walk all the way around the conversation.
In the back there, but opted not to take it. Now there's a spot.
Now there's a spot.
Another loop.
Okay. The behavioral snipers have already shot Verdruss, probably. But
Know your opponent, I guess.
yeah, yes, definitely. I don't think Banana Bread, although I think he is quite intuitive on the sniper, I don't think he's really watching that early flirt like that. But we do get that green test.
Yep. As awkward as it was, 51% on an early flirt is still 51% on an early flirt. Took a little bit longer than we would have liked, but it's the start we wanted.
Yeah. Courtyard, as we know, is sort of you get contact, you get flirt, you get statues, and then what's your fourth?
And the end of red.
Do you go for a fake
Fake
contact
in with an SDA, unfortunately.
Yeah, although it does give a lot of the party real anyway, and it only got 2 low lights, so I don't think it was a bad fake at all, despite the fact that we get real, because we probably have we'll probably be getting a second contact later in the game anyway.
Quite a decent distant flirt there. That's far enough away that it's probably not even going to get noticed if it was being relatively watched. Print on the briefcase as well. We're at 70% on the flirt now, and the print just then, so...
Yeah, and we have
a weird pace, but not a bad one.
Yeah, it's a good one, and at least 2 statues have prints on them as well, so this is quite a streamlined finish. We'll just want that flirt, or want that contact, and then a printable statue. It will basically be daring Banana Bread to shoot, and we do not go into it, go to a window pad instead. So
yeah, I think that would have been a little bit bold on that. Oh, this ambassador is just touching everything he can get his hands on.
This could prompt a shot. I would, because if we have contact and flirt credited, this could be a shot on Verdruss.
Oh, the ambassador one-cycled! We're able to get the inspects done! That's huge!
Huge. No shot from Banana Bread, okay. So we just need that flirt and contact.
I don't know if we're going to be able to survive a contact is the thing.
Awkward path, but we're okay. Need that one flirt and the contact. Flirt comes off. Oh, Banana Bread probably absolutely hates us right now.
Can we survive a contact? Let's find out. It was a green.
Green test on the end of the talk.
5
good.
seconds. It doesn't look
I
like
think we're
he's
fine.
taking a shot, and Verdrus gets through on a second.
Yeah, I will be pretty certain that's just one print miss from Banana Bread, and it's hard to know if it was the briefcase or the statue, but Verdrus doing that soft tail game that we were talking about before, daring the sniper to shoot him, and Banana Bread did not bite, and unfortunately for him, he needed to, because I think it's 2 breaks now for Verdrus, and a spy win on Courtyard as well.
Yeah, indeed it is. Banana Bread right now looking down the barrel of a 7-3 scoreline unless he can find a way through on the spy side of Courtyard. Let's see if they can do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, the momentum right now is really with Verdrus, and we need this
Early time ad
pronto,
from Banana Bread, though, on a green test.
which is good. That's very strong. Entering the conversation next to the SC, get that first float done. So an extra 45 seconds on Courtyard is good. If you have no credit for the time ad, so good start.
And a nice quick flirt for 34% as well. Not able to get the contact before the double agent steps away, but often you're not looking for an early contact because it gives away too much information.
Yeah. Sometimes if the whole party is in conversation, there's no reason not to. But I do agree. In general, an early contact gives the sniper less people to watch for more time. If that makes any sense. So, yeah, I think wise to hold off on that.
Wise indeed. It looks like he's just going to hang out here, sit for the timer flirt. He's definitely got the time for it with that early time ad. It's a red test, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think we definitely wanted that green. The action test might have just been at the end of the bar.
Just pulls a briefcase out from right between Taft's legs.
A sprint, I think, could be going for a similar game as Verdrus did in the previous one, going for some prints. And with the timeout as well, it just gives the ambassador more time to leave them. So it's just shaping up to be a pretty good game so far. But as the timeout runs out, we have 2 minutes 20 on the clock. Just one flirt though.
Banana Bread.
Fake contact. I
Fake
like that.
contact, no SDA. I like that play. Look at the conversations. There were no lowlights off of that. Not a single one. The shot comes off.
Yeah.
And Banana Bread is able to get one back. It's 4-6.
I'm not sure if Banana Bread meant this, but it's just a fantastic contact because the only person out of conversation is the SDA. So there's only one conversation with a double agent in, and all 3 highlights, which are almost certainly for statues, are in that conversation. So anyone in that conversation is going to be, if they're not already the top sus, already like boosted up. So it could just be a read from Verdrus that he didn't think Banana Bread was doing much fakes, and that maybe he missed a bug on Disney. So great fake contract, a great frame onto Disney, whether it was intended or not. It could have been. If it was, props, because it's a very good fake. But yeah, and I think Banana Bread did really need that. Did really need that win as well. So only back at 1 break of serve if we're counting sniper wins as holding serve in inverted commas. But yeah, good stuff from Banana Bread back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So trading spy wins so far on Courtyard. We've got 2 more to play. We've got Verdrus back in the spy shoes once again. Let's see if they're able to recreate the magic in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is always an interesting venue to watch spies on because if you play the usual slow-paced, soft-tail game, not only is that exactly what snipers are used to playing against, but you wind up in a weird position where you're high-lit and need a hard tell with like 45 seconds left, and it's just hard to find it in that kind of situation. So spies need to do something different to get through, and both of these players have done just that.
Yeah, and I do cringe when people say that Courtyard is so sniper-sided, because when you have a venue where the meta is quite well defined, it can be easy to make people shoot people who are sort of fitting that meta, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
We do get Green Pearline, which is nice.
Yeah,
And
that's a big start. I
Yeah.
think Banana Bread just saw it now and is trying to catch up. Got a couple of highlights. We're among them.
mhm.
No
Think we're-
lowlights yet, so it wasn't a confident find. I think this is advantage for Druss in a big way here as we get our pair of inspects.
It's either advantage us or Banana Bread is very certain he knows who the spy is and is not trying to give anything away. So hard to know. But I do think Banana Bread is quite good in these situations when it's sort of an early purloin has happened and he tries to, even if he's missed it, he tries to piece the puzzle together. I think he's quite good at that. So I wouldn't be surprised if even with these 2 basic statues, we could be a top source and we might die,
I
we might just die
really
in contact.
like this second visit to statue because it is purely innocent. There's no print there. There's no inspect available. He didn't swap anything. Now he's stepped out for his first flirt, and that was really just
Mhm.
a way to delay the inevitable, apparently, as the shot comes off immediately after the contact, and Banana Bread is able to hold on to it.
Yeah, we had that purloin reject, and we weren't taking any lowlights just to sort of show the spy that maybe they weren't particularly certain. And if you're a spy and you do a purloin and you see no real reaction from the laser, you might be more incentivized to do stuff because you think that they've missed it. So I think not showing any lowlights was great from Banana Bread, sort of
Banana
baiting
bread.
Verdus into doing more stuff, and then he does, and we catch the shot. So yeah, the momentum has swung, I think, and Banana Bread is spying for a tie, or to bring it back to be tied.
Let's see if they can make it happen. They've done it once on Courtyard. Let's see if they can tie it up by doing it again in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Playing as Seek, underrated spy in my opinion. And we go for that early flirt once again. Been a pretty common start from both players. We could
Yeah.
bug here, I think.
Could bug. I don't think they're quite in range. The circles are just barely not touching. He is able to hit the green flirt for 51%, and the ambassador steps away before we're able to do anything about it.
You know, I would love to know if
Oh, no,
we
that
were
was
in
in
range.
range, wasn't it?
I would love to know if it was, because it was very close to have been. I'm getting told it was. So that could have been a fantastic start with that bug, because bugging in like almost a cross conversation like that, the sniper is very 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 rarely looking for that sort of stuff. So I would have been surprised if it was caught, but we don't decide to take it, and instead we go for the print, which is fine. It's good as well. But I think that bug there was definitely the play.
Yeah, if you're ever able to find a bug with a body in between you and the ambassador, those are very hard to guard. Contact comes off, 51% flirt, 1 print is where we stand right now.
Which is good progress. We're sort of on the curve with 2 minutes left. We just have potentially 1 more flirt and then a printable statue away from being emission win countdown. It'll just be a case of trying to slip that second print in really under the radar, because we were the first person to pick up a briefcase in this game, I think. So I think if Verdus is tracking the prints, we're probably at like the top of the list, and so we're gonna be most remembered for that first print.
Opted to go for the flirt first, not able to hit the green, so it's 85% with 1:20 left on the clock. Haven't been to statues yet, but the ambassador has just put his hands on one, and it has become a very interesting statue indeed. So I would not be surprised to see Banana Bread sort of delay in conversation here.
Yeah,
To
go and get that flirt done. Probably
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Well, selection target is unfortunately going for a briefcase, so we're not able to do that quite yet.
Yeah, it's sort of it's a tough spot when an ambassador puts a print on a
Statue
statue
time.
at like 1 minute, because if we go and chase it quickly, it can look super sus. But then again, leaving it late could just get us shot because we're the only person finishing. So
Could also be super sus.
yeah, it's the right
If you
time to
leave
do
it
it.
too late.
Are we dying for it?
There's the
We're
print
not.
done, there's the inspects done, 30 seconds to play, and all we need is the 1 flirt. How does Verdrus react to this? Can he find this shot, or is it going to be tied up? We are in the mission win countdown. I don't think he's even seen the talk. And Banana Bread gets another one from the spy side, and we're tied at 6.
Yeah, almost identical game to the one that Verdus won. On Courtyard, just that Sachi print. We've missed a print somewhere, basically. I think. And yeah, I think both players have shown to be weak to fingerprints on Sniper side this game. So in terms of like the in match meta, if that's even a thing. People doing prints in the rest of these games, even if they are AI, will be probably more sus because in the previous games so far, the spies have been getting away with the prints. So if both players are clued into that, then they might be watching it more. But yeah, we're back tied.
Back tied and over halfway done now as we step into the home of shenanigans. It's Aquarium with Verdress on the spy first in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I think this is Banana Bread's pick, I believe. So probably more comfortable on it than Verdrus. Yeah, when I think of Verdus, I think of a sort of a soft tail spy and doesn't tend to do much cheese. So will be interesting to see if he has any shark cheese in his repertoire in this game.
Interesting indeed. If anybody here is unaware, that shark in the shark tank is both a good visual occluder and entirely bulletproof. So quite often, if you see someone moving towards the shark at the end of the game, you may just have to take the shot and hope it's the right one before they get behind it.
Yep. Do you go for that early flirt again? 34%. We're sort of across the conversation, but we're just enough in range to get that full 34 after a minute played, just that one flirt. So yeah, the party is not doing a huge amount. Just people at books go for fake contact. Don't mind this.
In the end of red.
Yeah, that's a pretty good, all things considered. I think it's going to let off 3 lowlights, 4 it turns out. So not bad at all. Not fantastic either for a fake, but certainly decent.
It's pretty good as well that the SCA
ahead.
was also out of conversation. So there's only one conversation with Real BB. So there's about 4 people who have real content right now. So if anybody's paying attention to that, which he could, there could be, I think both twins, Wheels, and Alice or Ponytail could be some of the top suspects in this game.
Second flirt comes off. This one green brings us up to 85% on the flirt.
Yeah, relatively slow game so far, but that contact could muddy the water. For Banana Red, would you enter the back statues for a first pair of inspects?
Yeah, and we got in on the second cycle of the SDA, so we're going to be able to get both of these inspects without any issue. Hello, Ambassador. I don't think this is a good idea to do anything with.
It's one of those bugs.
Just a bad angle.
Yeah, it's one of those bugs where it's just so weird, and it's just like you've probably never seen anyone bug there before, so it might have been missed, but Verdus not willing to take the risk, which is, I think, understandable and very reasonable. Comes a real contact.
In the end of red.
Let's see what the reaction is.
Oh, we don't like to think he split.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty precise follow with the laser. So no actual. Oh, that was a reverse drive-by bug attempt that got caught out by Banana Bread. I like the idea, but not only did it not take, it got caught for Verdress.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the shark wasn't. It was a top shark, so the only. I don't think that would have been covered by the shark either if it was a bit later. That was sort of a. We were really behind the curve. We need something.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't get got out for a reverse drive by, but unfortunately, the ambassador pass. They pass a bit further away from the conversation than we wanted, and therefore the armor is even more visible than it would have been. So, a bit unfortunate. Good hold on Twin as well, because I think he had 2 prints and a BB split, so good hold on that. And the Banana Bread, who was down 6-3, I believe, has won 4 in a row and is now back 7-6 up and is spying for a lead in this set. So what a great comeback so far from Banana Bread, and he definitely has the momentum so far.
Yeah, it was a very big turnaround. Verdress looked like he was going to just sort of snipe all the way home, but then got really badly caught out on their own double on Courtyard. And now this is where we stand with our second game of Aquarium and Banana Bread looking to secure a proper lead from the Spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
As Disney do go for some early inspects, which is a rare start in this set. I think it's the first time that Banana Bread had done it. It's nice to see a change up from the early flirting.
Yeah, unusual indeed, but good early progress. And with Smallman as the seduction target, we've definitely guaranteed that they are both here and a threat.
It is a big question for the sniper on this venue to decide what to highlight for, because often the party can be very chaotic at the start. When you go for a reverse drive-by, the bug takes. That's huge.
I think that just took cleanly.
That's huge.
The nose of the shark got in enough to block the arm, and no lean was noticed. So that is going to be a clean bug from Banana Bread. Sorry.
Yeah, that is huge if we have got it clean. I think so. The shark on the replay is a bit more delayed, so on the replay it was quite visible, but that extra 1.5 seconds of it being in front, I think it was behind shark just a little bit. So really opportunistic bug from Banana Bread, and we are in a great spot.
So that is going to put Verdress under some serious pressure this game. Not that they know it, but they've got to be absolutely on top of the missions from here on out, or Banana Bread might be able to sneak one by behind the shark.
Yeah.
They might not even need it, to be honest.
Banana Bread.
There's a contact, a real one.
Real contact, and not that Banana Bread knows that this is... We might have to contact again, because we are one of 4 reels again. And the first to leave. So behaviorally, it doesn't look great if Verdus is paying attention, but could be fine if you don't have that bug. Verdus is highlighting for real BB, which...
That could be big.
Verdus has already shot Disney this set for just contact and the statues, and will have to do it again if he wants to stay in this set, I think.
I'm worried about Verdress being a little bit too nervous after losing the last couple on Sniper, though, to be willing to take a shot like that right now.
I think if you're Banana Bread, the earlier you do the statues, probably the better. And our SC doesn't go to statues, it goes to the bar instead. If the SC went to the back statues there, we could have got Inspect and Flirt done at the same time. It would have been a nice finish, but...
It would have been really good, but Banana Bread is going to have to find something a little bit more deliberate at this point. 1:05 left on the clock. Still got to get the statues, still got to finish this Flirt. Where do we go first?
He really wants
Looks like
the
they're
SC
eyeing
to be
up
flirtable.
statues. Yep, and that's where we're headed.
This is a big moment for Verdress. This probably needs to be a shot at this moment here.
It's not looking like he's interested.
No swap. He's holding for now, doesn't have the bug.
I don't think he's going to be able to take a shot on a talk. Not on a venue like this.
Small might leave, needs to be in that conversation in Toronto. We need a green test, though. We need a green test. We only have 65%.
Oh,
white
no,
test
you're
will be
right.
99.
It is white!
No!
He's not in range! He's got to get out of this conversation. He's got to get out of this conversation right now. 20 seconds to play. There he goes. I think he delayed a little bit too long there.
Just redirect off nothing, which could look bad. Go for... On the ST leaves. Oh my goodness.
Steps away, but back in the conversation they go. For Verdress is looking at something else entirely. It looked like he was going to be able to get it off in time, but the shot happens anyways, and it's not the correct one. And Verdress is just collapsing on the sniper side of things. It's 8-6 for Banana Bread.
That was. I don't have many words for how that ended. To be honest, that was pretty incredible.
That was wild.
If we hit that green test, we win the game. We don't hit it, we get the 99%, which is just the saddest position to be in any spy game, having basically won the game but not.
It turns into a full panic after that. It took him a
Yeah.
while to figure out what he needed to do. And then he did get there in time. The seduction target steps away. Everything looks like it's falling apart. And then the seduction target lands. We're able to get back into it, and the shot comes off anyways. What a wild finish to that game.
Absolutely wild. And I think the shot, we early in the game, I think Teal could be credited with the bug at the bar when they were behind the shark with the ambassador. So the shot on Teal probably coming from a bug and then maybe inspect or fingerprint credit perhaps. But yeah, we weren't getting watched for that flirt chase at the end, which is crucial because we would probably have died, I think, if we were getting watched. So Banana Bread has won 6 in a row, or 5 in a row, I think. Has won a lot in a row, and is one break of serve up heading into their pick of ball. No, into Verdus' pick of ballroom. Needs just 2 more games to secure a hard-fought victory. Should we get this started?
Let's do just that in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If Verdus can find... Well, I mean, I don't know. They're running out of time. They've either got to find a spy win here or at least stop the bleeding on the sniper side.
Yeah.
And then settle back in a little bit because we're in a very difficult situation as Verdus right now because we've lost so many in a row. It's hard to come back from that kind of thing mentally, and this is such a mental game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're basically at the point where every little thing matters. It's fine margins, and we need to win this game basically as Verdus. We need to get back in the momentum. We need it basically now. A loss in this game would mean that we need to get 3 in a row to even force a tie. So big game. Ballroom is a good venue to get a spy win on, though. It can be hard to
Banana Bread.
perfectly track everything.
Contact?
Early contact.
Pretty good one, too, all things considered. A couple of lowlights, 3 total. We've got the 34% on the flirt as well from the window, and not a ton of suspicion about it, too, because the seduction target bailed, like, the moment the flirt was done. Back into conversation with the seduction target. We should get our second flirt out of this. Nope, she just steps away after getting her drink, so...
That's where to get that briefcase. Prince on Ballroom, I think, is something that Verdus quite likes, so could be going for that. But with 1 minute 50 left, haven't really been many left, so will be interesting to see what Verdus chooses as a mission sequence. Probably Purloin plus maybe Bug. We'll see.
Indeed.
But one thing that is for sure though is with 1 minute 30 left, we need to get that flirt on.
Yeah, I think we need to just go conversation to conversation here. It's a really short path, which tends to look somewhat suspicious, but we're a little bit low on options at this. That's a little bit far away. It's 84% after we hit a green, so that was a very crucial green to hit, and indeed Verdus did manage it. But the clock remains a significant issue.
Yeah. Print on the drink. Do leave to enter an innocent conversation.
I don't like being in an innocent conversation. I think we need to be doing stuff. We're under a minute now, and we only have the 1 completion, and it's the contact.
It's possible we could be setting up for a bug, but I don't see the ambassador leaving in this direction anytime soon. So, yeah.
No, we're just gonna take it ourselves. That must have been caught. It looked very much on screen. Banana Bread chases all the way around. Shot comes off, and that is 3 match points until overtime.
Yeah. It's not a terrible bug if you're doing it at a time where something is getting watched other than us. But unfortunately, that had just been a reject, and Toby was moving, so the list wasn't being stared at. There wasn't really much else going on in the venue, so bug is okay, timing not great, and also Tex is he hasn't got the best bug in the world, so good shot from Banana Bread, good catch, and he's got himself 3 match points.
Verdrus is officially out of wiggle room. They have to find a way to stabilize on the sniper side right here and now, or it's all over. Banana Bread could close it out right here. Let's see if they're able to do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Quick flirt unleash maybe, or just quick flirt? Yeah, just that quick flirt for 34%. Pretty standard start, as we've been saying. A couple of people at statues. Ambassador is not particularly in danger.
But yeah, the early 34% is decent. We're probably not going to get anything with the Ambassador. The Double Agent is not in a situation where it is reasonable to contact them, so not the slowest of starts because we were able to get that quick flirt off, so standing here and just waiting for the timer flirt is certainly not unreasonable, but Banana Bread wants an early print instead.
Yeah, I think this is quite smart, because you're in the ascendancy. You want to make it hard for Verdrus to win the game. There's no real reason to take any unnecessary risks. So doing a soft tail game, forcing Verdrus to shoot is definitely could be expected by the sniper, but it's definitely a good play, basically regardless of that. So yeah, good stuff. Good start from Banana Bread.
Agreed.
Back in for that flirt, hoping to hit a green test to not put herself in the position to be hitting that 99% later, but it's a white test up to 67, so another close white will be fine.
Yep, 67 is still plenty. In conversation with a decent position with the Double Agent now, too. This could be the time where we want to take that contact. A couple of people starting to move around now.
Queen at center as well. We might be holding off on this just to make sure that she enters conversation.
Double Agent
potential
steps
frame.
away, so that opportunity has passed.
Yeah,
Minute and
130.
30 left to play. No mission completions out of yet, but we do have the 2 flirts and the 1 print.
Yeah, and then Queen, who has center inspect, goes for that print as well on the briefcase. So
Oh no, it's too far away on the white test. It's 98% on the flirt. That's not good for Banana Bread.
yeah, we haven't
Time
learned.
is not on their side.
Haven't learnt from the last game to make sure you're close enough to get that flirt done, even on a white. But could still be fine though. We've got a minute left. It's not that hard to get flirt done
Banana
on.
Bread.
There's the
Ballroom.
contact. Seduction target steps away at the wrong moment. So that is 1 extra low light than it had to be. 4 total.
Yeah, we got Queen was our conversation as well. It was a pretty good frame. There is a print of this blue bookcase, so we're getting prints done here. We could go. We do not gulp the drink and we have to sip twice. I don't think Verdus is watching. It's an etiquette hard tell, but I think we're fine.
Little bit awkward, but not so awkward that it got a shot. That's the print done on the book, and it looks like we're going to head all the way over and try to get it down in the other case. We're going to take our flirt on the way across, 15 seconds to play. Can we get this book into green without dying for it? It's going to be overtime. How much overtime is the question? 5 seconds now.
And it goes.
8 seconds of overtime is where we're at. How do we react to it? It's not the right shot! And Banana Bread takes it home. The trophy for Emerald is theirs.
Yeah, and just absolutely steamrolled the past 7 or 8 games. Had a rough start. Verdus got a good break of serve on high rise. But ever since Courtyard really just been a one-way street, and I think generally over the course of the season, probably a deserved winner of Emerald. They won every game, so it would have been desperately unlucky to win every game and then not win the final. So I think good stuff from Banana Bread, and Verdus gave him a game. I think despite the last 7 or 8 games or so, of Banana Bread dominating, Boda's got into a position where if he'd have sniped it out, he could have won this set. So I think both players played well, but Banana Bread just slightly too strong on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Verdras absolutely had their chances. They just, once things started to slip away from them in Courtyard, they just weren't able to gather it back up again, but still put together a very strong performance. Both of these players did, and it was a pleasure to watch.
Absolutely. We will be seeing both these players in Ruby or potentially even higher next season. So there could be a bit of a rivalry being formed, I guess, after that. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us for today. I believe there's going to be another one tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If somehow you managed to find us without knowing what this game is Spy Party. You can get it for $25 on Steam or at spyparty.com, which also nets you a Steam key for it, but gives the creator more money. Other than that, if you are already playing this game and would like to try getting into the competitive side of things, drop by the Discord at discord.gg/spyparty. Sorry. There are plenty of folks who are always more than happy to help out where they can. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed playing it, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.